entitled NFL Player with $38 million Contact compared himself to a slave gets brutal smackdown. Over the last year, NFL players have been busy protesting the national anthem, claiming that they are drawing attention to racial inequality in America. It is evident that they are missing the irony in their protest, considering that these players are paid millions of dollars for throwing a ball and catching it, but that is a different story for another day. At any rate, each week players kneel during the national anthem while the extreme left applauds their misguided protest, comparing these entitled players to key civil rights activists of the past. Now, these arrogant NFL players actually believe they are fighting a holy war against racial prejudices in America instead of the ignorant individuals they really are. Well, Michael Bennet, who is an active national anthem protester who also started flashing the Black Power fist, has stepped over the line with his latest unintelligent statement concerning his place in the NFL and is now receiving massive backlash. Last year, when Colin Kaepernick took a knee in protest, we all hoped his antics short-lived. But sadly that was not the case, as more players have picked up where Kaepernick left off. Now, players in the NFL are kneeling each week, comparing the league they work for to slave owners and themselves as slaves. However, Michael Bennet of the Seattle Seahawks took that sentiment one step too far when and compared himself to 19th century slave Dred Scott. Bennet, who will make around $15.4 million this year, dared to say that he was being treated like a slave, all because Jerry Jones wants his players to stand for the national anthem. And here are Bennett's excerpted words: "I just thought it." Jerry Jones comments, "Reminded me of the Dred Scott case. You are property, so you don't have the ability to be a person first. And I think in this generation, I think that sends the wrong message to young kids and young people all across the world, that your employer doesn't see you as a human being, they see you as a piece of property. And if that's the case, then I don't get it. I just don't get why you don't see him as a human being. They don't see us as human beings first." If you were not familiar with the Dred Scott case, let me give you a quick rundown of the landmark case. Dred Scott was a slave whose master traveled with him to free states in the years leading up to the Civil War. Scott challenged his slavery to the Supreme Court, stating that his enslavement was over since he had been taken to a free state and lived freely there. The Scots disagreed, saying that once a slave you were always a slave despite whatever state you found yourself in. So, for Bennet to compare his employment to slavery is downright insulting to those who were slaves in the past. First of all, employment, it is not the same thing as enslavement, since as an employee you are free to leave whenever you want, and as a slave, you are not. And, to prove that point out, Kick the Coverage slams Bennett's stupid argument with this epic smackdown.